So, the lighting in here sucks. I fully acknowledge that. I meant to film this so much earlier, but today has been a little crazy. But it's been beautiful, so cut to the artsy rainy day fall shots first. Yay, it's so pretty and autumnish outside. Stop skipping to Christmas, y'all. Stop it. So first of all, I got 3 hours of sleep last night because sleep paralysis is a really fun thing, kids. If you don't know what that is, I'm planning on making a video on it eventually. It's not something that I've dealt with until this past month, actually. So I'm kind of new to it. Not a fan, but it's a thing and it's real, but it doesn't seem real, so go Google it and look it up, but I will make a video later. If anyone's watching at this point, like and comment if you really would like to see that video, and I'll try to do it sooner rather than later. But so 3 hours of sleep, and then I didn't set my alarm, so I overslept, and I had to wash my hair this morning. I realize it's up in a really crappy bun right now, but like, it looked good earlier, I promise. So I feel strongly about going out to vote looking good. I voted. I voted. I voted. Second presidential election that I have voted in. And somehow, despite everyone else's feelings about this election, I felt way more settled about this election than I did the last one I voted in. I am more than a little bit ashamed to say that in the last election, I kind of had my own opinion about my presidential choice. Like, I felt like, even though it was heavily led by my parents, that like at that point in time I agreed with who I voted for. But every single other office that we voted for, I had no clue who anybody was, who was running, none of it. And my parents were like, well, just pull a straight Republican ticket, because like I've been raised really conservative, and that's, you know, they wouldn't classify themselves as Republicans, but they usually vote Republican because it more aligns with their morals and values, which is good and great and fine. But I was like, well, I haven't like developed political beliefs yet, so like if I just pull a straight Republican ticket, then like it's not me voting for my vet. And so anyway, they're like, fine, whatever, do whatever you want. So I went in and I didn't know who anybody was, didn't know anything about it. So guess what I did? I didn't do a straight Republican ticket, but I voted for all Republicans anyway. Because why not? This election, I have been researching for over a year. Not just for presidential candidate, but also for local offices. Local offices, I feel really solid in who I voted for. There are many Republicans that I voted for, but I also voted for a couple Libertarians and a Democrat, actually. Because education, when it comes to local stuff, sorry, this is just absolutely getting insane. When it comes to local stuff, like education is my big issue, because I've studied education. I am planning on continuing to study education in the future, which means that I will likely start my student teaching here. And even if I didn't, even if that wasn't what I was studying, I just so firmly believe that what you learn as a kid, like also in middle school and high school, but especially as a kid, because I'm studying elementary education now, it's just so it's like the foundation that you build everything else in your life upon. And you can change so much about your life between, you know, 7 and 27. But the thing is, it's a lot easier to form your own ideas about things and to think compassionately and respectfully if that's what you're taught from the ground up. And so I just believe in that. I also believe in education that is catered towards individual students and not towards students as a mass, because we are individual people. Every single person has different abilities and disabilities. You have things that you're better at and things that you aren't so good at. So I feel really confident in my local choices. My presidential choice, I just could not get myself to vote for Trump or for Hillary Clinton. I couldn't do it. I have too many problems with both of them. At the same time, there are a few things that I like about both of them. But all of the, I looked up all the policies and everything else and blah, 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 blah. And the person whose policies I lined up with the most was Gary Johnson, which is great and awesome. But I've always been brought up to learn, to know, whatever, that voting for a third party means throwing away your vote. Not so much that way, but like, just like you have to choose the lesser of the evils. Like, and if you don't, then like you're not actually controlling who's getting in. You're just, you could have been voting for the lesser of the evils. A, I don't believe that. B, I feel so strongly about ending this two-party system that we have here in America. George Washington was one of our biggest, most well-known founding fathers, and honestly, one of the ones that I respect the most out of all of them, because they all had a lot of issues, okay? But like, he said, if we split up into two political parties, like, it's going to ruin our country. When you split our country up like that, especially into what it's evolved to become, pretty much everyone votes Democrat or Republican. There's such a small minority that votes anything else. Like, we're just looking for another civil war, which is ridiculous. Why are we getting so worked up over politics? Like, we have the same end goals. We want what's best for America. We just differ in the way that we think about that. And, I feel the same way about the church when it comes to denominations. It's just, it's something I feel so passionately about. So, spoiler alert, I voted for Gary Johnson. I recognize that he will not get voted in as president. I am not insane. I am not deluded. However, I wouldn't be disappointed if he were by some weird miracle, but that's not happening. I know that. But I'm doing this for the future. It's gonna take longer for me to see what I voted for happen, because I didn't vote for this election. I voted for future elections. Because if he gets that 5%, like, that just shows that, another party does have a chance if we would actually all believe that they had a chance and all vote. The people that are not wanting to vote for the other two parties. And I think our country could be healed so much by having more than two main political parties. So I feel at peace about what I did. I also feel at peace about the fact that I voted, not only as an American citizen who people have died for my right to vote, but as a young woman in America. One of my relatives is Elizabeth Cady Stanton. Did I agree with everything that she stood for? No, but she was such a strong feminist and fought for my right to vote. There are so many women who fought for us as women for our right to vote. You can't not vote. So I feel at peace. I feel settled about it. I feel a little nervous about the results, but I feel really at peace about how I voted, and that's freaking me out, y'all, because nobody else seems to. As a Christian, I also know that God's in control, and so no matter what happens, He is ultimately in control. So I feel really great about it. It's over. It's done with. Hallelujah. No more political ads. Yes. That's what I'm most excited about, let's be honest. Also went to a new psychologist today, so that's fun afterwards. Video of the office area here because it's gorgeous. Like, come on. And her office was even prettier, but I felt like a creep filming in there, so I didn't. Maybe someday. Just like the library that I work at. But yeah, that's been my day. That's it. Just a little life update. I really am going to make an October favorites video. It's happening. I just need to get my crap together. Also, speaking of getting my crap together, I know I wore this in my last vlog. Get over it. Give me a break. Okay? I only own so many sweaters. It was cold. Alrighty. Can I just channel my inner Simply Kenna and say, stay spooky? That's too much. I was really feeling the Christmas decorations today. I hated myself for it. Oh, okay. See you in my next vlog. Hey, you were too late to join the vlog, friend. Maybe I'll tag you on at the end. Also, general disclaimer. I really don't care who you voted for in this election, as long as if you were eligible to vote, you voted. And if you didn't, please vote next time. I just, I cannot communicate that strongly enough. Your voice is heard and it is counted no matter how little you think it matters, especially in local offices. So please, Phoebe's asking you, please vote. If you voted, good job, friend. That sucked, right? But it's over. I have no idea what I'm doing.